One.
Live from Indianapolis, Indiana, welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 291. I'm your host, Brandon Reef. We've got a big show this evening. My co-host, Jonathan Birdsong, will be joining us momentarily, but we've got a big show tonight. We've got college basketball talk. We're going to talk Purdue Boilermakers. We're going to talk Indiana Hoosiers, all things Big Ten basketball, all things college basketball. We are in March. Conference tournaments are next weekend. Then we've got the NCAA selection show and the best time of the year, the NCAA tournament. We'll talk that, myself and Jonathan, this evening. We've got NBA talk, the Pacers updates, where we're sitting with Indiana. We'll talk that as well this evening. We've got NFL news and notes. The NFL Combine was just in town this past week. Myself and Jonathan will talk NFL. We'll talk free agency that's getting ready to start next week. All these different types of free agents. A lot of good ball games on tonight. And then we got a couple of quick hitters here and there we'll talk about. But can't start the show this evening. Gave the rundown already, but can't start the show this evening without our co-host, our co-pilot, Jonathan Birdsong. JB, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, man. It's good to be back in the saddle, man, as they used to say, man. I'm glad you gave the rundown. I don't even have to ask that question, man. This is super exciting times here, Crossroads Sports, man. I feel like it's always in at the start of March is when things kind of start picking up, man, right around Final Four time, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to, me and Brandon Reef will be at Butler tomorrow, talking to a journalism class tomorrow, so y'all can check for that. It'll be all over social media. You know that.
By the way,
right.
I'm thinking about it. Little housekeeping notes. Make sure to send me the time and the classroom and all that in the building. Send me that information. I don't have any of that yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I got you. I'm sorry. It's all in my head.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I wanted to say it now before I forgot later.
No, yeah. So we'll get all that out, and then next Monday we'll be at the Horizon League Championship here locally here in Circle City, man. So great times. You know what I'm saying? Ahead for Crossroads Sports and even more. In store, I got some other, you know what I'm saying, things up my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Brandon does too. But like, no, man, I'm ready, and I'm ready to talk. You know what I'm saying? Some quality college basketball and NBA tonight, man, as well, man. So, Brandon, where you want to start at?
Yeah, John, let's dive right in. Let's go to let's see. Let's dive right into. Let's go college basketball. Let's dive in college basketball. College basketball at its greatest. I've got my TV screen next to my office here. We've got 4 games on, multiverse screen. Last night, we've got a lot of ball games going on this time. It's March Madness. We've got the conference tournament starting up. We got the selection show coming, the NCAA's tournament coming up. A lot of great things. Let's start locally here, John. Last night, Purdue went to Illinois, traveled to Champaign, took on the Fighting Illini. Boilers were down at the half, came back in the second half, showed their reluctancy, and ended up getting the victory at a strong Illinois team. Very impressive for Purdue. John, I call it the Braden Smith game. Braden Smith shelled out in that game. It wasn't just Zach Edey. The people on Twitter, well, Zach Edey, it's just that. This offense is more than just Zach Edey. Everybody was hitting shots. Mason Gillis hitting threes. Fletcher Lawyer finally found his shot back last night as well. Purdue Boilermakers ended up being, now they have outright conference champs. They won the actual conference championship with a share, but now second straight year outright. Hasn't happened since 2007, 2008 when the Buckeyes of Ohio State have done it. But John, I'm gonna relish these moments of where Purdue's at and the conference championship, because you don't know when you're going to be there next. But it was great to see. I'm excited and I'm nervous at the same time of what's on the horizon just a few weeks away here in Indianapolis when they play game 1.
Well, Brandon, the Big Ten tournament. That's what's up next, man. I know we're all still looking for.
Right.
There's been a whole lot of talk about number 1 seed overall, and that's cool too. Those are things that you kind of have banner type where, and saying you use as Painter can use as a resume builder. You know what I'm saying, right? But nah, man, Purdue. I think they take things one game at a time. They know they got the NCAA jitters. They know that they haven't been as a school, as a program, to the Final Four since like 1980, and all that kind of does it weigh heavy. I think the fact that they've had recent tournament, failure. I think that weighs more heavy than any type of we got to get to the Final Four. But I say all to say this: this is the best team. Regardless of what anybody said, I got into a barbershop conversation, but somebody said, well, Ivy was there. Like, hey man, Jaden Ivey, of course, improves any basketball team, but he was wanting to go. And I don't even think would he have been a senior this year or this, with a senior, with an extra year,
no,
he can get whatever.
He would. Would he been a senior or a junior?
I think it's been his 4th year.
Okay.
I think because remember he left Earth after his sophomore season.
Yeah, he only had 8 points in that game last year.
Right, but regardless of all that, this is a balanced team. And Lance Jones, I call him, he's gonna be somebody's a summer league, he's gonna be that player, on somebody's summer league team. And this team, watch him go. Bray Smith, you got quality shots, clutch shots out of Mason Gillis last night, even though the crowd was kind of, teasing him a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's technically a game, Brandon, that Illinois wins when Purdue kind of starts looking there, man.
Absolutely.
So, you're right. You said it. They showed some resilience, and they didn't wilt. Purdue rose to the occasion. All those things, and they came out with a victory, man. I'm saying, Brandon, don't necessarily be thinking about the Final Four tomorrow. Right, you gotta be thinking about the Big Ten tournament. I know they get a bye and all that. Think about put another trophy case. Put another trophy in the trophy case. That's what I text down to. I'm being honest with you. I'm just keeping Ray 100. But everybody knows, our good buddy, Coach Brandon. I said, hey man, keep on stacking the trophy case. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the, a lot of that criticism we all know comes from the folk right down south in Bloomington town. Well, you haven't won a band or that. Final Four, and those things true, but their program is in a shambles where Purdue is, on the cusp of, potentially, doing something historical this year. Because though I think, the tournament's the most unpredictable thing. You can count how many times it's been, how many times all the number ones have made it, or all the number 2, whatever, all those statistical things. But this is the best time. Purdue, this is the best team, like I said, the most balanced team Purdue has ever had. In the Painter years, it feels like, and with this field, you should anybody with any type of betting sense, I would put my money on Purdue.
Yeah, it's Final Four or bust. They have to be in the Final Four. John, you posted a great clip this morning. With John Rothstein and Gary Parrish and them on CBS talking about this Purdue team, and just how, John, I don't even know if last year's Purdue team would have handled a hostile environment like Illinois, like it was last night. The resiliently, if I can say it right, resiliently coming back on a game like that. This team. This is kind of the games you need, and Painter kind of made a note of it in his press conference the other day that every game now basically is like a tournament game, and it's time to step up. And it's sad. I said to one of my friends, I said, it's sad, man, that I celebrate the Big Ten, but I put what I say. I said, job not over. Job's not complete yet, right? I mean, they're going to win the Big Ten again by 3 games. This is the second year in a row they will have won the Big Ten by 3 games, which is huge in this conference. With how it is, and I know part of the conference has sucked overall, but that's not Purdue's fault. Purdue's playing how they're going to play, but they have the most quad wins out of all the teams. They're probably going to be the number 1 overall seed as of right now in the NCAA tournament. That would put them there in Indianapolis. UConn would be the 2 as of right now. 3 is Houston, and the 4 would be Arizona. So Purdue and Arizona would match up on that side of the bracket. So we'll see. I'm excited for this Purdue team as long as it's Fletcher. Here's my thing. The way Purdue loses, I've said it twice on previous shows. They go like 1 or 2 for 14 or 2 for 18, 2 for 20 for 3-pointers, and those aren't falling.
Yeah.
Or they play very quick and athletic bigger guards, because Smith and Lawyer, that's what St. Peter's did. That's what Fairleigh Dickinson had. They had quicker guards than the Boilermakers, and that's what got them in trouble, because they were able to find that next guy for a shot if they didn't take it.
I'm not going to say it's necessarily matchup way to beat Purdue, but if you can get them to turn the ball over heavy,
yep.
I think in the Northwestern loss, they turned it over something terrible, over 10 times in the first half alone. The Ohio State game was also a turnover nightmare for them. So, like, if you can get them to turn the ball over, you know what I'm saying? I think that's another. I think it's with Seton Hall. I said Seton Hall. Seton Hall didn't beat them. That's the homie got the job to go to Seton Hall. But you know what I'm saying? St. Pete. Again, just you know what I'm saying? Just turn them over. They weren't able to get into their half court set, and that's kind of where they want to start everything half court. You know, that's where Zach Edey is most respected. He's option A, right? And that's kind of where all the other options kind of fall into place afterwards. So,
right.
But those are the things to kind of be watching out for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can kind of turn the ball over or get Purdue to turn the ball over heavy. Those are the keys to how to beat Purdue. But yeah, I agree with you, Brandon. Final Four bust, man.
It's got to be, and I'm not nervous, but I'm starting to get that a little bit, because you have to, because I don't know if they're going to be able to do it next year, right? I mean, I'm going to be 4 or 5 years down the road, and I'll be like, damn, I didn't really enjoy that run these last couple of years that the Boilermakers had in the regular season and winning these conference tournaments. You know what? Go for the three-peat for the Big Ten. It's been a while since they've done that, 93, 94, 95. So good news, Boilermaker land. They got 1 game left. Senior Day coming up. So and then we start the big dance. That'll be up in Minnesota.
Right.
So looking forward to that. On to the IU side, John, and I got to start it with a little bit of breaking news.
Uh-oh. Most of it ain't bagpipes.
It's not bagpipes. It's not bagpipes. Breaking news from the Indiana Hoosiers. Zach Osterman from the Indianapolis Star is reporting that sources have told him, and he tweeted this about 5 minutes ago, that IU coach Mike Woodson will return for the 2024-25 season.
All right. Good news.
Good news for Boilermaker fans. I tweeted out.
Oh, wow.
Great news for the Boilermaker fans, because that means you get more mediocrity for the next year at least.
Oh, man.
But there's a couple things. Number one, John, there was a petition. And when did you ever think there'd be a petition going around Indiana University to fire their basketball coach? Right?
Man, that was pretty bad.
Petition going out there. Second, now Dusty May is going to take that offer from either Ohio State or Louisville, and he will be a new head coach at one of those 2 places. It's a craziness. And then also the fact, John, and I put it out last night after I saw Osterman's report, and I sent it to you. Mike Woodson, Indiana, had a contract amendment that was signed last August that added not just additional salary, John, but it also bolstered the buyout protection to his original deal. It also contained language that would mitigate the immediacy of his university's duty to pay Woodson in the event of a termination without cause. These dumbasses down in Bloomington, they just hire these coaches and have the largest buyout ever. Have they not learned from Tom Allen? I mean, they basically have Bobby Bonilla deal for Mike Woodson. He's getting a $1 million a year payout when they do fire him for the next 15, 20 years. Just complete idiocy going on down in Bloomington. It makes zero sense.
His agent is a genius.
Right? Just dumbassery. I mean, when I saw that last night, I said, are you kidding me? Mike Woodson swindled him. He swindled his own university to get more money, and say, hey, you know what? Hey, let's protect me a little bit here because the cupboard's a little bare after Trace Jackson leaves and Hood Schifino leaves. The cupboard's a little bare, so I got to protect myself. And IU's just like, hey, where can we sign? Let's do it. You're putting yourself in a pigeonhole situation now, Indiana. And as a Purdue fan, and for other Purdue fans, I applaud it, Mike Woodson, and I hope he stays a coach for the next 20 years so we can continue to see that mediocrity down there at that campus. They need to fire the AD. I know we're probably long from credentials now, but
right.
Your thoughts on the whole situation?
They're in a deep conundrum. I know also the article, but not the article, the quote from Bruce Pearl kind of leaked out there as well, where it was kind of odd, where he said Indiana just dreams as they do. You got a year in the hot zone with Auburn right now in the middle of the SEC, probably second best league we haven't called to put basketball. You talking about you want to coach Indiana? Hey man, if I was Auburn, I'm like, man, get Bruce Pearl's ass up out of here. That's just me, but I don't necessarily think that a marriage between Bruce Pearl and IU.
I don't think he's the guy.
I don't think it's going to happen any type of way soon, ever. You know what I'm saying? But who knows, man? And in 2 years, 2 more seasons, man, how desperate IU might be. They have to have a better plan than to just let this thing kind of like crash and burn, or to kind of just like meddle into like a 5, 6 seed, 7 seed, or seeded team in the Big Ten for IU. That's unheard of for them.
Right.
IU is a blue blood that every time they put that list on Fox basketball or CBS basketball, and they say Kansas blue blood, I'll be like, yep. Kentucky blue blood, I'll be like, yep, because it's just the NBA pipeline, really.
Right.
And they won championship. Calipari won championship, but and then they say IU blue blood. I'm like, not no more. Duke still is. UConn still is. Right.
Would you call Villanova? I guess how the run they've had. I would say so.
They won. They have.
Yeah.
And I get it, man. Jay Wright's not there, but like the next man up is it's just a matter of time.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Villanova's not terrible, but yeah, man, Villanova's a blue blood. But IU, where you at? So I don't know what the plan is. I don't really know even if like what the recruiting, it looks like them for next season. When you talk about a game, but when you talk about the game management, like how can IU, is this inconsistent? We have inconsistent play, but like damn, Brandon, we got inconsistent coaches as well. How can you have spotty minutes from Lille where he come in and gets 1 or 2 shots, and then another game, like you don't even play him, or he doesn't, you don't use him effectively. And I'm not just picking on Lille, there's other players as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So man, I don't know, man.
I got more breaking news. John Rothstein also reported that the IU is having Mike Woodson return next year, so that put that to bed. But the other breaking news, John, I just got a report. I want to report it to you, to everybody first. It's first reported by Crossroads Sports. The Indiana Hoosiers have been eliminated from the 2025 NCAA tournament contention. That's breaking news. Their bubble is already busted for next year for the NCAA tournament. So put it on Crossroads Sports to be the first ones to tell you that for next year. Just wanted to put that out there.
They're making a tournament, y'all.
They thought they were this year. They thought they listen. As much shit that I took during this past fall from the IU faithful that this was the year, this was this. Our recruiting class we have coming in, Gabe Cups from Ohio's going to lead the way. Y'all fell flat on your face. So I don't want to hear it.
They got a tip. They got a good tip tonight at 9 o'clock against Minnesota.
They do. Now listen, I took them plus 5.5 tonight at Minnesota. I took him plus 5.5. I'm taking
tough,
a chance for it.
Listen, I know Minnesota don't necessarily have no world beaters on their team right now. You know, Quincy, who you playing for Minnesota? Quincy Lewis, that was good. Quincy Lewis, right?
Joe Prisbilla?
Ain't no Quincy Lewis. Yo, wow. Yeah, ain't no Joe Prisbilla's on this team, man, but they are undefeated in the month of February. So there is that, man. So they're tough at home. They are tough at home. So you got their hands cut out for them.
Yeah, I think they can. If IU can play like they did the second half against Maryland, because the first half was god awful, but if they can come out the way they played the second half, they've got a shot tonight. I'm going to hope that Woodson can get the boys to play tonight a little bit. So that's why I took the plus 5.5. So we'll see, John. But it's the guard play, and if you look at it, you got to think for next year. Leal's not coming back, or sorry, not Leal.
Right.
Ware's not coming back. Leal's not. He's gone, obviously.
Probably.
Somebody will transfer out. Galloway could come back if he wants. I don't see why he wouldn't, because he's not going to go in the NBA at all and make it anywhere. Xavier Johnson is out. So Mbako could return. I don't know if he will, but it would be helpful for the Hoosiers if he did. But we'll see, John, because they've got work to do, and they probably need to fire a couple assistants and maybe just put Calvert Chaney as the associate head coach and get some more. When you got your strength trainer flexing on the sidelines the whole freaking time, taking it away from the players, that's when you know you didn't got it in the program. So, and I saw it again the other night. Keep flexing, muscle man.
Well, I think we've given enough time for the mediocrity. I told you, man. I like IU. I like all the Indiana things, you know that. But I think we've given enough time to IU, man. They got their work cut out for them. We know that they got to win. They need to win. They need to find a game with Purdue in the Big Ten tournament. If they can figure out a way to, get to a game with Purdue, I think they get themselves into the NCAA tournament.
I think when the ESPYs come out next year or this summer for comeback player of the year, between all the sports, how somehow DeMar Hamlin, won his comeback player, which I thought was ridiculous for his thing. Joe Flacco, but dude, I mean, we've got a new candidate that's going to win it, no matter what. It's got to be Kyle Filipowski, man. When you come back doing a windmill dunk, coming off of a catastrophic season career-ending injury during a storm chase. Storming the court. I mean, that's right. Gotta be.
I remember everything. Yeah, people were talking about his draft status is in jeopardy now, man.
Oh my God! I'm just glad he's okay, man. That's a true comeback story. And I mean, I'm a Duke guy, but I told you that was BS. I thought it was ridiculous, the whole thing.
I don't know, man. But he's supposed to be, gonna turn pro. In the off season or whatever, man. I don't know, man. Dude, they got enough. Their card players got a little better, Brandon. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the, what they kind of got there on the court. He has the ability to block shots. He has the ability at times to play strong and to rebound. You know what I'm saying? But they're not necessarily scary at all. In any way, shape, or form, man. So, but that's funny that you said. You know what I'm saying? He go out there. Maybe an NBA scout was in the stands or something. Man, he had to show what he could do.
Yeah, I was just really scared, and then it was great to see him after that injury. Doing that. Facetious people, come on. Horizon League, John. We're going to be there, as you said, Monday and Tuesday night. Both nights, we're going to be there at the Horizon League tournament. We had a great time last year. Had a fun time. The first round games from yesterday are complete. IUPUI lost to Cleveland State 85-66. After the game, or then this morning, it was reported Coach Crenshaw and IUPUI have parted ways. Friend of the program, Coach Crenshaw. So we wish him the best wherever he ends up next. He's too good of a coach to not have another spot somewhere, and it'll be good to see how he does So IUPUI, I'll be looking for a new coach. Milwaukee beat Detroit. Detroit, who's having a miserable season with one win, beat them 83-79. So Milwaukee's advanced. And then Purdue-Fort Wayne beat Robert Morris 78-63. That was the 9-8 game. So we've got games set for tomorrow, John. We've got number 1, Oakland versus Purdue-Fort Wayne. We've got number 2, Youngstown State against Cleveland State. The 3 seed is Green Bay. Green Bay against Milwaukee, excuse me. And then the other game is the Wright State versus Northern Kentucky. The winners of those 4 games will advance here to Indianapolis next week, where we will be. So I'm looking forward to that. I will be keeping an eye on it as well.
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on as well. I want to touch on the IUPUI coaching, you know what I'm saying, change. Again, yes, man, the homie, he's definitely a friend of the program. Coach came on, you know what I'm saying, and gave us an in-depth when he was the assistant coach at Ball State. I remember Coach Crenshaw, you know what I'm saying, we talked a lot about Ball State. We talked a lot about Michael Jordan and the last song, too. Like, no, man, it's tough to win in Circle City, you know what I'm saying. He finally got the call right, get the call to be the IUPUI head coach. Do you know, man, I think he actually leads that school in assists at IUPUI. I think he does. I'm not. He might want to have to double. I know. I you know what I'm saying, as far as record books go, and I know he had like a one shining moment for sure. Where they had won the Horizon League, and he had a big shot, big 3
for the career.
Like, no, man.
Matt Crenshaw is your leader, 510 assists.
Wow, I told you. Yeah, Coach Crenshaw. I mean, you know, man, my friend. I mean, you kind of put those stats up. You know what I'm saying, the time he spent at IUPUI.
Military man as well. Can't forget that.
Right, yeah, real military man as well. So, like, you know what I'm saying, he'll bounce back. It's hard to win at IUPUI. Think about the background IUPUI and you know what I'm saying, and whose backyard they're in. You know what I'm saying, as far as recruiting.
And hey, they've improved all 3 years that he was there. Every year they had more wins.
They did, but you know the university and the program. It can kind of demand just a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these teams that me and Brandon are going to be seeing, whether it's, and hopefully we get to see, you know what I'm saying, unfortunately we're not going to see everybody, but you know what I'm saying, last year we were privileged to see Northern Kentucky. I was kind of wanting to see up close and personal Wright State this year, but guess what? They play each other tomorrow, so we're only going to see, unfortunately, see one of those teams.
Yep. But
like now we're going to see these teams. These teams are it's one and done for them. Most of the teams, maybe if they lose in this tournament, they might get to a CIB. They might get to, you know what I'm saying, NIT. But as far if they lose in this tournament, the NCAA tournament bid is probably gone. Whoever wins the tournament is automatic, whether they are whoever, you know what I'm saying, sub 500, above 500, whatever. Whoever wins the tournament is automatically punched in, whether they're the Horizon League regular season winner or not. You're automatically punched in, man. And, like, excitement and buzzer beaters, I can't wait. I expect to all to see those things, man.
Yeah.
And we'll be there Monday and Tuesday.
We'll be there both nights. It'll be fun. John, I want to talk Missouri Valley. Missouri Valley tournament starts as well. That starts tomorrow night. Locally from the state, Valpo versus Belmont. Valpo the 12 seed, Belmont the 5. Evansville the 10 seed versus number 7, Illinois State. Illinois State's played well the last few weeks. Then you've got the byes that'll be on Friday. Drake, the 2 seed on a bye. Indiana State, who won the conference regular season first time since 2000 under Royce Waltman. Indiana State with the bye. I don't think they get 2 in, John. I know we've talked about it last week ad nauseum, but I'd love to see Indiana State here. Here's the good news. They're part of the bracket. The 2 seed Northern Iowa, the 3 seed, the 2 seed Drake and the 3 seed Northern Iowa and the 4 seed Bradley and them. They'll see the 4 seed if they make it to the final. They don't have to worry about the 2nd and 3rd place teams. So they at least got that going for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always, I mean, like, you would think, man, after Larry Bird, you know what I'm saying, put on, that was how many years ago when Larry Bird, you know what I'm saying, Magic Johnson took that team, that magical run to the Final Four. You would have thought that the recruits would be pouring in Indiana State, but in the winning. But it has been far and in between, man. This could be another magical team if they can just navigate this tournament properly and win it. You know what I'm saying? And come out, you know what I'm saying, double champion, regular season champion and tournament champion, and maybe, you know what I'm saying, the selection guys give them a favorable, you know what I'm saying, and not make them a 12, because that's what's going to happen. If they get in, they're gonna make them. You know what I'm saying? They won't be. They shouldn't be. They deserve to be better than.
No, I think they should be like an 8 or a 9, probably a 9.
Yeah, but just because you know what I'm saying, their resume wasn't necessarily great against the Power 5 or Quad. Don't let me get my numbers messed up. But I do know they're preseason Power 5. They didn't fare well against Power 5 top schools, so that's kind of gonna that's gonna negate them just a little bit, even if they do win the tournament. You know what I'm saying, as far as season is concerned. But like, no, man, great season by the gang, but what you call them, Brandon, the trees, the fighting trees, down in Terre Haute, man, and whether they. If somebody even said, and I doubt it, I can't believe it, man. They said even if they don't win this tournament, that they won't. It's a question that their NIT questionable, and I can't believe that, man, because again, man, you put the Indiana State team against any mid-major or team or any friends, you know what I'm saying? Would you say Maryland terrible? Indiana State would beat Maryland. Indiana State would beat Michigan. You know what I'm saying? And all those are Power 5 schools, man, But I think they see you know what I'm saying, postseason play this year.
I think and speaking of NIT, you were talking for the first time ever, the Final Four of the NIT will actually be played here in Indianapolis at Gamebridge. I don't think a lot of people know that the NIT is on a rotating base now. So now those 4 teams will be playing here in Indianapolis for the Final Four of the NIT. So more basketball in April here in Indianapolis. So looking forward to that. I've got my TV on, John, on the next game I'm watching here. The Ohio Valley tournament starts tonight. First game here, Southern Indiana against Tennessee State. Southern Indiana, the 8th seed. Had a great year last year, first year in D1. I went to school at USI for my first 2 years. So I've been keeping an eye on the Screaming Eagles since they've went D1 as well. So I've got them here watching them against Tennessee State. So we'll see how they do for their second year and going to the Ohio Valley. John, you might want to pour one out. We've got the Pac-12 tournament next week, the very last Pac-12 tournament as we know it. So we'll see what happens with that. But it'll be a good one with your boy Bill Walton late at night. I'll miss it. Does that mean Bill might be like doing some like Big Ten games? I wonder.
He gonna get absorbed now, man. They're gonna put him back out there in Mountain West. He'll be calling Steve Alford games. He'll be calling San Diego State. You know what I'm saying? Long Beach State. You know what I'm saying? All those California schools, man.
Okay. So, anything else college basketball, John? I mean, I guess as I'm just kind of looking through standings. You know, the ACC is going to, North Carolina won, so they're going to come back. It's going to come down. Duke's got a chance to be co-Big Ten or co-ACC champs. They play each other one more time. North Carolina's got a one-game lead on them. And then Virginia, who's just they're in third, but it's Duke or Carolina that's going to win that conference.
Right.
What's your thoughts with Butler? They've got to be out now, John. I told you last week I put a decent amount of money on St. John's, and they whooped their ass there at Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Yeah, Butler.
Sorry, Butler. We'll see you tomorrow.
They better win tonight against Xavier.
Yes.
And then they got and outside of they can't take a loss in the Big East tournament. They have to win the Big East tournament. That's in order to advance their season. And Brandon, one win could probably get them in the NIT. One win probably gets them in the NIT. I'm saying one win tonight might get them into the NIT.
They're 16 and 13 right now.
Yeah, one win for sure. in the Big East tournament gets an NIT bid for sure.
Jonathan Birdsong will be trying his damnedest tomorrow to get an interview with Thad Matta, so we'll see what happens.
I'll be on Butler campus for darn sure. So yeah, line him up.
Yeah, we'll go in the Hinkle, see if we can meet with Coach. Ball State, John. They got a huge win last night against I believe it was Kent State. They've got to win and basically have a little bit of help if they want to get to the MAC tournament, which is crazy. They don't let everybody in it, which is, I think, one of the stupidest things. But 13-15, 7-10 in the conference. John, I have to ask you first, please tell me you saw the viral clip over the weekend of how they lost their game.
That tip in?
The ball bounced and the guy went right to the dude. Oh.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking, man. Heartbreaking.
Our sponsor, Scott K. Nichols, said, because you play football, they said, man, everybody rolling over their grave. That's right.
Damn.
He said everybody. He said his class was whatever 19. I don't want to name it, but say class of 19 is rolling over their grave with that play, bro. What the heck?
That was rough, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Between that and the way some of these sectional games ended, here in the state of Indiana, it's high school sectional time. The Gear and Catholic game ended. The ball was getting thrown out of bounds. Dude just throws it up over his head right to his guy for the game-winning basket.
Mm-hmm.
It's, man, something about tournament ball, state of Indiana. It does something to you. So, but Ball State, they've got one more game left, John. They take on Bowling Green, who's 16-12 on Friday night. So, and that'll be at Bowling Green. So we'll see what happens for our boys there up at Muncie. Any other things, college basketball? We'll have a better idea next week with the conference tournaments going on. One of my favorite weeks, conference tournaments.
No, man. Other than I know some other conferences are named like Player of the Year. I know the SEC, and on the women's side, SEC Player of the Year was Angel Reese. I know on the women's side, SEC Coach of the Year was Dawn Staley. Just off the top of my head, I know the MAC also released a bunch of Player of the Year awards, as did the Horizon League. I kind of share some of those things on the Crossroads Sports Instagram story and as well on the Facebook page. It's good to see these athletes. Some of these athletes probably get an extra. Sometimes they get an extra season or whatever, and they might even get they would find themselves on another team as well. But like now, this is the time. This is the time where star players are going to try, because they know the scouts are out there. They know the scouts, whether they be overseas scouts or NBA scouts or whatever. To try to get all eyes on your team. If you're the star player from the MAC or the star player from the Horizon, what better time right now than to go out there and beat a Purdue? What better time, or whoever you draw up, or go out there and score 35. Become that next. Hey man, did you see that? Remember when Steph Curry, that his first little run, and and nobody knew who he was. It was this little Davidson team, right? So there might be. I don't know. But you never do, because I didn't know who Steph Curry was before then. Before the game, check. So it could be, this is why the tournament is so unique. The next one could be out there.
Okay. Switching over. By the way, I want to thank our sponsors, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance, and Mavericks Custom Motorsports. Without both of them, we would not be able to do our show. So thank you to both of our sponsors for that. Without them, we won't be able to do what we're doing. So shout out to them.
Right.
Going to the association, Indiana Pacers. A little bit of a lull these last few games. They got a big win last night against the Mavericks.
Right.
137-120. Tyrese seemed like he was coming back around and all this. You've got the Timberwolves tomorrow night, and then you go to the Magic and to the Thunder. So the gauntlet, the Pacers have the 6th hardest schedule to finish the season. Contraire, look at your teams around you in the conference. The Magic have the 28th hardest, and the Miami Heat have the 29th hardest. And obviously the Heat are starting to roll. So just some food for thought there with the Pacers.
I got a question, Brett.
Go ahead.
What was Tyrese's stat line last night?
Yeah, give me a second. I'll get it
Off
for
the
you.
top of it. Yeah. Because I know the team, everybody was zipping them last
Tyrese,
night.
8 of 15 shooting, 3 of 10 from 3. Still a lot of threes. That step back 3 thing, we've got to get that a little bit in check. But 19 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists.
See, I know you like double-digit points and double-digit assists. I think you remember you saying like maybe 20. I think the Pacers, the best version of the Pacers, this team, is when everybody is scoring. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got double digits for everybody. Because like last night, it was coming from all sides, and they didn't relent. It's like they took it personal that they lost the game before. Mm-hmm. From Peja to Miles, and especially Miles. Miles led the team scoring last night, and it was an active body. I'm not saying every defensive play he made was perfect, but you know what I'm saying, he was an active body. McConnell off the bench looked like a starter. You know what I'm saying, and Ben Mathurin. You know what I'm saying. Now you see why they was okay with letting Buddy Hield go. Ben Mathurin is going to be a monster.
Yeah, but I still think Buddy with this team gives you something.
Nah, Brandon, it's only so many balls you can shoot.
But he gives you more than what the hell Doug McDermott's giving you.
Well,
no, I don't want to hear no well. It's true. Marcus Morris, what's he doing? He ain't on the team.
Hold on, Brandon. They kept on fighting minutes between those two dudes, though. Now it's just Ben Mathurin. There's nobody else to look at Doug McDermott.
Yeah, we don't have to. We don't have to fight minutes, and you're down by 38 to New Orleans. Yep.
Man, don't even get me started talking about New Orleans. That game was something they should never put on film.
Yeah.
And then some of the I watched New Orleans to get their next game. They beat. They won it, but man, for Zion Williamson to be, this dude dunked almost as hard as LeBron James. For him to say that the only way he's gonna be in the dunk contest next year is if he's an All-Star.
Charity.
Dude, man, please, I couldn't believe it.
He said that's his charity, man. You want to give me an All-Star, I'll do it. He wants to get in a charity vote.
You should want to be right. You should want to be in the All-Star game to elevate your brand and elevate your name, not because you're going to be a man. This dude is mentally off, bro.
He had 16 points last night. 16 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists for Zion.
I mean, that's nice stat line, but that's not necessarily all-star level.
No.
Not for his talent.
He's stat-wise this year, he's averaging 22 points a game. That's 29th best. 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Shooting 57% from the field. So.
And it's kind of a part-time play. I mean, I ain't super critical of Zion.
I was more critical last year than this year.
Yeah, when he says cat wild shit like this, man, I'm not gonna play an All-Star game. Dude, the vibe was from last year's All-Star game, from this year's All-Star product was a bum product. I said, why wasn't him and Obi Toppin, not little brother Toppin, like Obi Toppin and Zion Williamson? Why weren't they in the dunk contest? And I still couldn't get a straight answer because they dunk every night. They had 3 to 4 or 5 dunks every night. And to not be in the dunk contest, it just didn't make sense.
Do you have Jason Tatum as your MVP, top MVP guy?
Man, you know what? Boston got effed over last night against Cleveland, man. But they just censored it. Man, Brandon, he's an MVP. He's the best player. He's the best player on the team. But it's like, you know me, man. I think him and Jaylen Brown is close. They talent level.
Okay.
Hey, Brandon, if the Lakers can get to a 6 seed situation, I know they can. But I know if the Lakers get a 6, then LeBron James is MVP. LeBron James.
Oh.
Yeah. If the Lakers get a 6 seed, he's the MVP.
Why? Because people are going to ask. So I'm going to ask for the people. Why do you say that statement?
Have you not seen? Well, one, that would be they would be winning. Right now, it seemingly he has a special game, and they win it, or they lose it. And unfortunately, they've been losing more so than they win it. Right now, I think the Lakers are sitting in the 9th spot. Maybe it might be the 10th. I could be wrong. I don't have the actual format in front of me, but right now they're in a play-in situation. When they win, right? It's usually him playing like lights out and he's blocking like it looks like, 25 years ago. So, but it's also needing the other ancillary parts. I'm not picking on Anthony Davis at this time. Anthony Davis has actually kind of stepped up this year. You know what I'm saying? But when they had to level up against another a Denver, a team like that, they kind of will. When they have to level up against I'm trying to think who else they kind of wet the bed against. But you get my head. You know what I'm saying? A team like that.
They play the Kings tonight, and that's a huge game because they're a game and a half back of them.
That's a huge game. I'm surprised they beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
A couple of nights ago. But again, they'll wilt against Phoenix. They'll beat a Clippers, but then they'll lose to like a Minnesota.
Are you impressed?
Again, if you want to take it seriously, go ahead.
Are you impressed with Milwaukee? They've won 6 straight. They rallied over the Clippers with no Giannis.
If you're Boston, and you're thinking about eventually going to have to to lock horns with these dudes, yeah. Doc Rivers has made it to look better. They had Bobby Portis and Pat Bev.
Yeah, my boy.
Not necessarily going berserk, but like playing significant roles.
They've only lost one game since they've got Pat Bev.
Yeah, we know
something.
It ain't all just him. It ain't all just him.
No, but you got to have a hype guy on that team that's going to be there for you, maybe like a soldier for your guys, and the Pacers don't have that guy. They don't.
Yeah, Pat Bev has brought a different energy than what was brought into. And isn't that crazy, Brandon? Like, why did they ever get rid of the one? Well, maybe he wanted to go. The one kid, the one dude that went to the small forward when they won the championship. He went to
Tucker?
the Clippers. Yeah, they should just kept him.
Man, he wasn't happy in Los Angeles either.
Man, yeah, right. Because he was looking for a trade. He was looking for a trade this past trade deadline, man. But no, you have to be concerned. And even if you're the Pacers, man, because I thought, dude, I want the Pacers. The Pacers are like, we're sitting where right now, 7th or 8th, because they keep on sliding between 6 and 7, I think. Right?
Yeah.
The Pacers would want, because of the matchup, a series, whether it's in the first round or second round, right, against Milwaukee, because of the matchup. But like I said, things are kind of sliding around. But I think the Pacers can. But like, no, you have to be concerned about Milwaukee. They might have kind of got some things answered.
Do you want to give your love fest now for?
For who?
I mean, our man is shooting 47% from the 3-point line. Grayson Allen.
I'm talking about the homie Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
Man, they always keep on saying
he's earned himself a contract, man.
He's trade bait. He's played how many teams? He played with Utah.
Memphis.
He played for Memphis.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Oh man, we run out of teams.
No, anyway, that's it. That's all the teams besides Phoenix.
For somebody, I do too. But like for somebody who doesn't take a whole lot of threes, when he gets the opportunity to take, like I'd say more than 10 or so. Man, he usually
8 of 12.
Man, and he shoots a pretty ball, man. And like Grayson Allen, for that team has to really be hitting on all cylinders for it to win, though. Because Kevin Durant, I think Kevin Durant had like 28 last night. After like missing like 8 in a row in the third or the fourth quarter. He kind of started. He woke up. But Phoenix is a dangerous team. They're still a little woefully thin up front. You know what I'm saying? Because they're still dependent on Bobo to play significant center minutes. You know what I mean? Right? But no, man, the homie Grayson Allen is leading the NBA in 3-point percentage. Man, that's crazy. Just something I never would have thought would have been on the table. Man, Grayson Allen maybe leading the NBA in steals. I can see. If you had told me that, Grayson Allen leading the NBA in technicals, I can see. If you had told me that, Grayson Allen, leading the NBA in threes, I'm shocked. But here we are.
Kevin Durant hasn't made it out of the second round of the playoffs in the last 4 years.
Uh-oh. You got the sizzling. You said he ain't winning the championship?
No, he's not winning a title ever again. Never. He rode the coattails.
What if he joined sports? What if he joined sports with LeBron?
He'd have a better shot with the Pacers. Fact.
So you ready? Are you ready to trade out Pedro Siakam already?
I mean, here's my thing. I don't want to say I expected a lot more from Pascal, but I mean, my dude, you gotta step up a little bit. You're playing for a contract, right? I don't think we're gonna let him walk at all, but I'd like to see a little more. Maybe we'll see more at the playoffs, but we need a little bit more. Fair?
Yeah, he's not. I'm serious.
No, I said, is that fair?
Yeah, is that fair for Peyton? But like, you know, his number's gonna be huge, right? His number's gonna be huge.
I'm accepting of that. I'm accepting of it. As long as he listen, as long as you earn it, man. You earn it. And the way you earn it for us, for me, for this city, is those games in late March and April and May, right? That's how you earn it.
Right.
Get us some of those April games, those late April games. That's when you'll earn it.
And he's never, correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, he's never come off as a street clothes guy, has he?
No, I don't feel like he's been.
I know he might have been injured before, but like he's not a, hey man, let me coach this, like let me, you know what I mean? Let me run with this injury, you know what I mean? So like, no, man, I think if he gets the money, we're not playing out the Pacers are putting themselves into a, oh man, you know what I'm saying, a second thought. We shouldn't have did that.
Okay.
But it's contract gonna be big.
Moving over to the NFL, John. By the way, I need you to give some respect to James Harden still. Wait for that.
Why?
I mean, the dude, they got him first place in the Pacific. Harden's averaging 17, 5, and 8. That's 57th, 84th, and 6th in the league. Man's playing team ball. He ain't being the ball we thought he would be. So,
he's still traveling.
Michael Pittman, franchise tag, $21 million next year. John, you okay with it? Uh-oh. Apparently, John is not okay with it. We lost him. Lost him on the call, but we'll get him back here shortly to get his thoughts on Pittman. I do want to say the new NCAA college football game that's going to be coming out here in maybe 4 months or so. Arch Manning says, this ain't for me. You know, I think it's more because Arch doesn't, he's only going to be like a 60-some rating overall. Secondly, he's going to be a backup quarterback to Quinn Ewers. You don't want to tarnish the Manning legacy, the Manning name with being a backup guy in a video game. So he's going to focus on the actual playing itself. So Arch says, I ain't no video game. John, I don't know if Deep State got us or not, but I was asking you if you liked the Colts tagging Michael Pittman for $21 million.
I mean, they had to. Have they yet? Or is it
they did officially, yes.
They have to. He doesn't have enough touchdowns to garner, like, giving him, you know what I'm saying, anything over $70 million for 3 years. So they kind of had to. Does he cry? Like, when you think about, hey, man, we could go steal him and then we'd be over. You think about that with Pittman Jr.? If you were a contender? I'm not saying like everybody's gonna look good if they play in Kansas City, right? If he's wide out playing Kansas City, he doesn't have the drop seat, right? So that's another reason why he got signed up. But like he doesn't get in the end zone a whole lot, so I think that's why he got the franchise tag.
Okay. Steelers are out on Kirk Cousins. Looks like Cousins either gonna be in Minnesota or he's gonna go down to Atlanta. Atlanta now are the favorites in Vegas sports books to get Kirk Cousins.
Really? With
that being said, Justin Fields, the Bears saga is still continuing. Atlanta and the Steelers are some teams for that. The Steelers are the second favorite for the Justin Fields sweepstakes. And then yesterday it came out, Russ Wilson was cut $85 million that the Broncos are on the hook for. So basically, Russ is playing a free contract, at least this year, with another team. Vegas odds have came out last night late. The Pittsburgh Steelers as favorites to land Russell Wilson. I'm mixed on it.
You would have to be, the cost favorite would be Russell Wilson, Brandon. You would want to have
at least get some eye candy.
Now, what I'm told is Chicago probably wants a little bit more than what they think they can get back for Justin Fields. The market for Justin Fields is not a first rounder.
Hey, by the way, real quick, our sponsor says, so we now are franchising average receivers? Terrible.
He ain't average, man. That dude got a lot of yards, man. He just don't get in the end zone. That's weird. But think about it, man. How many quarterbacks? What quarterback did he play with? He played with this quarterback.
Yeah, but Scott, I'll tell you this: he's not a diva wideout, right? We haven't heard him say a peep like all these other wide receivers. And if I know my Steelers about diva wide receivers, but this guy's kind of went out there and did his job. Hasn't really ruffled feathers at all. It's kind of been a model wide receiver.
Don't have to drop. Yeah.
Now somebody would say, well, he hasn't earned the right to do that. Well, I mean, he is the number one. You know.
They gotta also, the coach gotta also remember to keep some money around. They gotta I don't know what Gardner Minshew wants other than starting, because if he doesn't get to start, and because he's not gonna be the starter, right?
Right.
Then what kind of compensation was he looking at from you know what I'm saying? They have to think about that, because I think the general, they would want to have Gardner Minshew back, but at a certain number. And Gardner Minshew wants to start. And starter means you get to start at a different number. So I think this is another cost saving, another cost saving right there. That'll be probably the next year if Gardner Minshew is going to be here or not.
How about so yeah, looking at it, John, Deontay Johnson now has been reported possibly on the trade block for Pittsburgh. If they can get Russ Wilson, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. We can see what happens with him and Kenny. I think Russ, you got that veteran leadership, somebody that's there that can try and control some of these diva wide receivers, somebody who can kind of control and be a game manager on the field. I think it's a better situation with him if he would come to Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. I'm not against it. Mm-hmm. I'd like it. I mean, like I said, it would add a little bit of eye candy in the stands with Sierra. So I'd be fine with that camera panning there a few times throughout the game. I ain't mad at it. So we'll see. And you're kind of getting him for free because the Broncos got to pay that contract. So I think you kick the tires on it and you see what happens, right? What's the worst that can happen? That's all I can say. What's the worst?
Yeah, he ain't gonna have no office or nothing next to Mike. You know what I'm saying? Mike Thomas' office. You know what I'm saying? Right. It'll get back to football. It'll get back to football for either one of them, man. I don't know, man. Justin Fields probably ends up somewhere in a Southern team, or somebody. I can't really put my finger on it.
Butler's up 27-14 with 10 minutes to go in the first, so they're taking care of business as of right now. Buffalo Bills, John, they've kind of released the whole goddamn team today. The whole team, basically. Defense, they got rid of Nyheim Hines, which he was out, and after his little skiing accident that he had last year. But Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, and Mitch Morse, all from the defensive side secondary, all of them cut to try to get the Bills under the salary cap.
When you play that super mega star quarterback, this is what happens, man. The after effect, and you don't win, you don't go far deep enough in the playoffs, and you don't win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? What came back as far as return money, like you have to make certain cuts, man. I know it's tough.
The free agent pool just gained a lot more of those defensive guys.
Right.
And at least they got a backup quarterback today.
Stop it. They got to go young now, don't they?
You see who they got as their backup?
Who?
They re-signed Mitch Trubisky.
Stop it.
They did. Mitch is going back to Buffalo.
Did he still play?
Not in Pittsburgh. But so Mitch is there. The Eagles and Cowboys are exploring Saquon Barkley deal in free agency. Giants say we're not gonna sit there and franchise you. So Eagles, Cowboys are looking. Derrick Henry now is a favorite to land in Baltimore, which that's not good for my Steelers if Henry ends up there. I thought he'd be a Cowboy. I said that, predicted that a while back. The Seahawks, John.
Brandon, what's the bigger choke city, Dallas or Philadelphia?
Dallas. Philly's at least won a title in the last lifetime.
Well, I'm talking about league. Right. Well, okay.
Dallas still.
So,
I mean,
so you think,
maybe Dak will play a lot better. He got a new haircut. I don't know if you saw it.
I wonder if Saquon. I think that Saquon wouldn't be a bad fit in either one of those situations.
No.
Could he get Philadelphia back to the Super Bowl with, but his thing is health though, man. So I don't necessarily know if Dallas just kind of rolls out a big time contract for him, or big time meaning 2 years.
Well, I think he's not going to get the ball the whole time, which I think is good. I think, working with Tony Pollard, splitting the carries there, or even if he goes to Philly, he's splitting it with DeAndre Swift and all those guys in that backfield. They had like four-headed monster there. I will tell you this. The Philadelphia offensive line is going to be having some changes. Obviously, Jason Kelce retiring. They're going to need to – that's a big piece missing in that O-line. So,
man, Taylor wasn't at the presser?
No, man. She should have – I wish she was, man. Poor Travis crying, and it's just – it's a damn shame. Damn shame. But
hey, man, the ratings going to go through the roof because we said Taylor Swift.
Oh, there we go. Look,
they're going to come after me, though.
I know the Kelce brothers are in competition with us on podcasts. So, Seahawks, they cut Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, and Will Dissly. I know Dissly's just kind of a black tight end, but Diggs and Jamal Adams cut from the Seahawks. So, they're trying. So, I'm telling you, man, this free agency is going to be like the NBA. Just by some of the star players that are out in it. And I'm all for it. And it starts Monday. So, I may do some live shows or something Monday night. I might pop in. Well, shit, we're going to be at IUPUI. We may pop in live at IUPUI for the game.
in the law against it.
Yeah, so we
halftime reporting.
So we have that. Let's get our guy on. He's been on hold for the last 4 minutes here. What's going on, D-Cot?
Hey, Sub. Hey, great show as always. Love hearing the good stuff, man. Love hearing the updates. Appreciate the support. So I got a couple of topics I want to hit on. Well, actually 3 topics. First one, I want to hit IU because it's going to be the easiest one. I sent you guys that message. I listened to JMV, and again, he's taking subtle shots at Woody also. As I told you guys in end of January, what I said, I'm done with Indiana with the subliminal messages and all that stuff towards Woody. The guy came in to help his alma mater to stabilize consistency in leadership, consistency and intelligence of having a coach who's been there, done that, and also integrity, right? So no one thought he was going to be here for 15 years. Woody's been around for a long time, and I'm just getting tired of the digs being taken against him by the local folks here, acting as though they're supporting him, but really not really supporting him based off of what they're saying and hinting. And your boy JMB really, really told the line today. He almost said thug when he talked about the players down there in Bloomington. So I'm probably going to stop listening to him too, because the guy he was talking to they were talking about the Florida Atlantic coach, who I guess DMB is a big fan of and is a neighbor of his family. So that's disappointing. So I'm gonna turn off any IU conversation going forward until they treat Woody right, because I'm telling you, it's not going to end well for Woody. And
I'm happy with Woody, man. I'm glad they're keeping him. I'm glad he finessed IU with that contract.
But hey, Brandon, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Purdue's going to be out in the second round anyway. But the point
you want to put money on it?
They can take. No, I don't bet. I'm not a gambler. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
Come on. but in all seriousness, all right. And no dig on Purdue, whatever works, right? But the point being is, Woody came there to help his alma mater, not to save them, and to bring the old blue blood back, as JB was just talking about earlier. He came to help his school that he loves, right? And to back his coach that he loves. So I just don't like the fact that people are taking digs on him that supposedly support the IU program, but behind the scenes subliminally saying things.
That's you,
so
John.
Like
He's
that.
talking about you, Birdsong.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about JMV. I'm talking about Fish. I'm talking about those people who, quote unquote, are IU people. So I'll leave that alone. Let's talk Pacers, right? So Brandon, you and I were so dead on, man, on the TH deal. Last night, I counted 13 no-look passes for Halliburton. He played better, much better. He hit that three, threw his arms up in the air. The playing against Dallas, though, is an easier matchup because they pound the ball. Teams that move the ball against the Pacers give them trouble, right? Teams that move like Golden State, Houston, Orlando, teams that kind of move the ball around, those teams give the Pacers so much trouble. If you're pounding the ball, they can work with that. So I wasn't surprised to see the Pacers win that game last night at all. Luka Doncic had 17 complaints, 31 arms in the air, and 11 FUs to the referee. So I'm glad we beat them, right? But with that said, to your point, Brandon, you talked about the sixth toughest schedule in this last, almost 20 games. Hey, man, we all play 82. They had an opportunity to win those winnable games, and they didn't, right? And like I told you all 2 weeks ago, it's probably going to come back and bite them in the butt. I'm not saying not being able to get in there anywhere, but it's going to bite them in the butt from a perspective of what they were thinking about when they made the Pascal trade to today. They're 11-11 since Pascal came. Now, granted, TH didn't play in 4 to 5 of those games. So I look forward to the Pacers playing tomorrow night. Of course, we'll be there tomorrow night. Definitely need to win. They need to continue to stack those wins, and let's see what happens, man. We saw the Buddy Hield thing today, right? Did y'all see
the Buddy Hield? Forgot.
Let me rewind. Listen, man. I apologize about a month ago, right? I was thinking it was down south. I apologized a month ago. I love the fact that he says, you know what? I'm going to give everything I got. And guess what? I don't have to apologize about it. So I love that, right? McTryhard is doing his thing, and I appreciate it. But he's not a starting guard. Because if you plan for him, I know, because if you plan for him, if you plan for him, it doesn't work. Think about last year when Tyrese was out. Okay, he put up good numbers, but we kept losing. So he's not that guy. He's the guy to come off the bench that the guys forget about. Not forget about, but don't play as hard against him versus TH. But did you see last night? You see who they put on him last night in the third quarter? Derrick Jones Jr. One of the better on-ball guards in the league, right? Yeah, he reminds me. What was the light-skinned kid's name from? It'll come to mind what I'm thinking about. Anyway, but Derrick Jones Jr. Good defense. No, I'm talking about for the Pacers. The dunking guy. We had him.
Another Duke kid.
I know it'll come to my mind.
Dante Jones.
Yeah. So he very, very athletic, right? They put him on him because, hey, we're gonna stop this, right? And it slowed us down, but we played pretty well overall. So I'm happy with that. But let's not fool ourselves. He is not a 30-minute a game guy. He's not. When the team plans for him, it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen.
Solid backup.
Yeah, listen. No. I take that away, JB. He's not a solid backup. He's a great backup. He's not solid. He's great. But that's his role. We talk about role players. Play your role. His role is the guy that comes in, gives the team a spark when they need it, and help support and give Tyrese an extra breather, right? But he's a great backup. He's not a good backup. He's a great backup. And if Nembhard doesn't wake up or show some energy,
Nembhard stinks, man.
No, I'm not saying he's going to leave. He's not going to get the time that he desires, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So it was a tough game to watch.
Because in Carlisle mind, my personal opinion, he would rather have Nembhard take those minutes, and they probably would have wanted to go ahead and trade T.J. McConnell. And maybe got him.
Yeah, because you could take him, and he's a young guy on a second round contract. We've got him for 3 more years, man. If we decide we want him, right? So yeah, it's a win-win. But he's not as, and TJ's not out there, throwing his hands in the air and getting guys' face. But he has so much energy. Maybe it's that coffee, that Jack's Donuts coffee he's drinking before every game. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, he needs to give something to all his teammates who are showing not a lack of energy, right?
Right.
So definitely a big fan of that, man. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Turner kind of reverted back 2 games ago about playing in traffic, right? He still struggles. Well, I'm going to still struggle. He struggled a couple of games ago, playing in traffic. It seems like he wants to avoid contact, and then he makes this noise as if he's fouled, right? He's still a keeper. He's still a guy I want to keep on the team, but we've got to know who he is, and hopefully the Pacers and their leadership understands that he can't be any better than your 3rd best player in your team. So
I got no mild criticism. None.
Yeah.
I know it's a shocker, but I got no mild criticism.
Hey, so did you guys hear the Buddy Hield thing today, right? Brandon, I know you heard it, right?
No, I was out on the golf course today.
We talking about letting
I thought it. Did you? Hey, well, let me rewind real quick, Brandon. So legitimately, how close was this hole-in-one?
It was close. That's probably the closest I've ever had.
Okay,
fair enough. About 6 inches. It hit about 4 feet, and then it rolled backwards. Had some spin on it, and 7-iron from about 160 away in the face of the wind. And the guys are like, with me, were like, holy shit. And I'm like, because sometimes when you hit it, it's like, it's a good shot. It felt great. But then you get up there and you're like, oh, it looks close. You get up there and it's pretty far away. But this one was pretty damn close. Right. So I was pleased.
Felt good all the way. Well, I'll tell you what, next time we're at Shelbyville, drinks on me, and I'll put your first $25 bet on Red 9. How's that?
Ooh, there we go. I like that. But what's this Buddy Hield thing?
Hey, so he had an interview, and he talked about his departure from Indiana.
Oh, boy.
He talked about that he was a little conflicted with the playing time. He said guys weren't aware if they were going to play many minutes or no minutes during the game, right? Before that, he says, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I wasn't happy with playing with those guys. I love playing with those guys. But based on the circumstance, I'm not sure if they, meaning the leadership, wanted me there or not. And I'm trying to quote from memory. What he was saying was, listen, it's like last year my contract, they weren't sure, I wasn't sure, and they wanted to get those young guys in there to play. So I was chatting with a buddy of mine last night regarding this, right, before the quotes came out. And I said to him, Ben is playing, and I'm not talking about Mather, our young Ben, is playing just as well overall as Buddy Hield played the first 35 games of the season. And the reason why I say that is because he plays a strong level of defense, and he's 6'8", and he's long, and he played really well. I hope he can continue with that. No knock on Buddy Hield in any way. That dude,
he's on upward track.
That dude's a gentleman. But let's be real here, right? Let's not act like we thought the Pacers was going to go to the NBA Finals this year. We were hoping at best the Pacers would get through round one, a round one victory. That's the ceiling. So anybody says anything else other than that, they're just rose-colored glasses.
Well, the coach said he was thinking 4 seed, man. In my mind, I was thinking realistically 5, 6 seed. And that puts you around 41 games. That puts you around 41 games for it.
Well, the thing is, it's still there. The opportunity is still there for the exact same thing. They're jumbled up. They got 3.5 games. They could be from seed 8 right now to the 4th seed.
Yeah.
So it's jumbled up. But to Brandon's point, the schedule isn't conducive to jumping 3 teams unless the Knicks and Philly fall back because of those injuries.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity, right? If that doesn't happen, I don't see it happen. I just don't want them in the play-in because what that does, that triggers that first-round pick turning from a 20-something to a lottery pick, right? For this year. But big picture-wise, we weren't going to do anything with it because you got Jarris Walker, and also you got Ben come along, and you got the other young players. So it's still a good trade. I just don't know that the Pacers. It seems like there's something missing. I'm not talking Buddy Hield. There's something missing with the Pascal Siakam deal, right? He gets his points, but he gets points not in the offense. He gets points off of broken plays and putbacks. A lot more than I thought he did. Do either of you all see that, what I'm saying?
Somewhat.
Just not necessarily. The only criticism I got, man, is that he's just not necessarily a reliable 3-point shooter. I'm not saying he can't hit them. Just not necessarily, you know what I mean? But other than that, it could be better rebounder. You know what I'm saying? But he has some moments here.
Absolutely. There's no knock there. Do you think he's a $42 million a year guy?
Man, that's the market. I can't tell you what. That's the market, dude. That's what he's.
Yep.
That's
Danny
the thing,
Manning, man. Danny Manning. I would give Danny Manning. Danny Manning was a young man, and if you remember what Danny Manning was, you know what I'm saying, in his prime, then that Danny Manning would get 42 million. I don't necessarily see, and I was just saying Danny Manning because they kind of got the same body type. They both 6'10". You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know what kind of forward they.
But Manning had better handles. Manning had better handles too.
Did he? You think? Well,
absolutely. Because and that's what I thought about Pascal. Right? I was thinking he was a poor man's Kevin Durant because I didn't see him. I didn't watch him every night. I thought he was a poor man's Durant. He's a tick. He's 2 ticks below that.
Yeah, because he can't shoot how far.
Exactly. And that's what threw me off, right? So again, we're in him. He seems like he wants to be here. I think he can be a great piece of what we do.
He's better than P.J. Washington.
All right.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. But definitely, I know you guys got to go, but I wanted to just kind of have my Pacers thought for sure. But I'm sure I'll be sharing some stuff tomorrow night at the game tomorrow night too.
Sounds good, D-Cop. Appreciate you.
All right, fellas. Y'all be safe.
Yep. All right, it's our guy D-Cop. Last 2 things, John. We got to wrap. Reminder, tomorrow, me and John will be at Butler. If you want to give that shout out, John, and then obviously for Monday, Tuesday. I have nothing left. The wife is calling for dinner, and I can't keep her waiting. I'll let you give the wraps.
Yeah, me and Brandon Reed will be on Butler campus tomorrow. At JR teaching and writing and reporting class, 8:15. We'll be speaking to that class about Crossroads Sports and you know what I'm saying, how all that kind of comes together. I know we're also probably going to meet up with, Butler Dogcast host Eva Holman as well, man. So it's going to be a big day tomorrow, man. And then, like Brandon Reed said, we'll be at the Horizon League Championships both Monday night and Tuesday night, you know what I'm saying, on the sideline, man. We'll see you on the sideline. Outside of that, man, thanks to our sponsors, K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance. Thanks to our sponsors, Mavericks Custom Motorsports, man. How can we do Crossroads Sports without them? Thanks to D-Cop for calling in, man. He's Crossroads Sports greatest caller, man, until Reggie gets his act together, man. Outside of that, man, I'm Jonathan Birdsong. That's Brandon Reeves, man. Everybody, thanks for listening. Y'all be good to one another.
Thanks for listening to the